Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another review here on Pez of the Mind. I am James Phoenix. With me today is Anastasia Lazerbeam and Chriz the Mole.
Hello, and you're kind of like all over the place on the video, like all choppy and a little bit with the sound as well.
I don't know why, that's weird.
I think it's going back in real time now.
Okay. Well, anyway, we are here continuing the summer of Disney, as we did, of course, if you joined us yesterday, and if you haven't checked the video out, when we took a look at Disney's original masterpiece from the 1940s, Fantasia. So today we are here to look at the continuation. It was always Walt's intent when he originally made Fantasia that it'd be an ongoing process, that every time you saw it, it would be something new. There would be some familiar pieces, but also some new pieces. Unfortunately, that concept fell by the wayside for almost 60 years until finally Disney and the animators did finally get back to it, and they created what they call Fantasia 2000.
Yep. What is Pew up to?
Yeah. No.
I kept seeing you light up and type at reading a screen. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Anywho, so yes, today we're here to talk about Fantasia 2000, the continuation sequel-esque thing to the original.
Not continuation sequel-esque. It's literally a sequel. It's a film. This is a second
The
one.
same name with the sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it literally even says on the back, Walt Disney's vision of Fantasia as a continuing work in progress. So.
It does. And it also lists it on the Disney site as the sequel. So.
But it's got some of the same parts, so it's not really a sequel.
It's literally the
It's
second
in the
one.
fucking name.
Yeah, and even on the Disney Life, it's called the hit sequel.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Oh my god.
That's from Disney, so Jim's saying Disney's full of shit. Cool, let's move on. Disney's full of shit.
I'm just saying I don't think Walt intended it that way. But anyway.
Walt was dead in 2000. He didn't intend to redo his music, make it shitter, and include part of the original, and then cash it off as a cash sequel of celebrity guest stars. So if you're calling this a continuation of his dream, in which case his dream became fucked up and shit at the end, or it's a sequel, which kind of goes against the original.
Yeah. I think the spirit of what Walt intended is still in there. I think it qualifies as a continuation at any rate, even if it didn't live up to what it should have been.
Plus, who cares what Walt wants? He literally fucked over the creator of Mary Poppins and had Donald Duck be a Nazi. Let's not heroize this guy. He kind of was a dick. Even his workers thought so.
And Warner Brothers had cartoons as Nazis too. It was hip at the time.
I didn't say no one else had them. I'm just saying he literally has this, and yet everyone's giving him a free pass and making out, oh, he's such a good guy. But yet he was shit to his workers. He was shit to the creator of Mary Poppins. Even going so far as years later, his company, after he's dead, is still continuing fucking her over with that film, saving Mr. Banks. And we had this type of stuff, and it's like, no.
He also kind of hated Jews and wanted them all to die.
Yeah, he hated Jews.
That's never been substantiated.
Are you kidding me? Don't even start that shit. I will throw a bunch
of been substantiated that he said, oh, please, in the year 2000, please release this as a continuation of my work. But you're going by that too.
Touche.
So yeah, the Nazi wanted this to continue. He was literally a Nazi. You're supporting a Nazi at this point. But yes, Fantasia 2000.
No, but okay.
You're making out like he's a good guy. He was a Nazi.
He was not a Nazi.
Nazi supporter is a difference.
Nazi supporter treated people like crap and really heroized Nazis and stuff a lot.
All right, let's move this on. Fantasia 2000. What do we like?
I like the fact it included the 1940s Mickey Mouse short.
There you go.
But that 1940s thing shouldn't be the best part of a 2000 film.
Yeah. I felt the animation was worse.
And I literally rewatched this last night, and yes, it's disjointed as fuck.
A little bit, yeah.
The reason why is, do you remember last time when we talked about how great it was to have the one narrator and it all felt connected? Mm-hmm. Yeah, after each one here, it's celebrity guest cameo.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I like Steve Martin, I like Penn and Teller, I even like Bette Midler, I like some of their cameos, but they shouldn't be there. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, the Fantasia 2000 went with a much different approach than the original, whereas the original had a much more formal feel to it. It felt much more like one cohesive, like you were actually going to a theater to enjoy this concert and see the amazing art along with it. Whereas they went with a much more lighthearted tone here. They opened it up with Steve Martin making some jokes, and it was a much more lighthearted. In fact, ironically, this felt more like Disney of the time. This felt more like Disney in more recent days, appropriately enough. Because back then it was a big spectacle to go see a Disney film in the theater because Disney invented the feature-length animated picture with Snow White, and this was only the third movie they'd ever made. It was Snow White, Pinocchio, and then this. So it was still kind of a big deal to go see a full theatrical animated piece. So it had that formality to it. It was a special thing. Whereas nowadays Disney is, animation is very common, and Disney's all about being fun, being family friendly, being something that you can enjoy as a casual fan, being something that everybody can kind of have an enjoyment from. And this feels like that. Yeah, the celebrities are definitely not needed here. I can agree, but there's some fun stuff with them here and there. And celebrities aside, not needed, the actual musical pieces are actually quite good, and I really liked a lot of the animation here. It didn't have the same feel of effort put into it as this because of what it represented, because of the effort that needed to be put in, but it was still incredibly beautiful to watch, and they really matched up to the music well, whether it was
I don't think it matched up to the music.
I was gonna say it. The animation wasn't as pleasing.
It wasn't as linked at all, because there was way more stuff on this where the animation continued to do actions when the music was softer and not doing the stuff to go along with it.
Like pacing.
Yeah. Also, what the hell happened to the color palette? Besides the pink flamingo with the yo-yo, the color palette's become more dark. It became more dark and muted colors, so it wasn't as bright and colorful and fun as the first one. It's also half the length. And they feel like, we can just get a celebrity to introduce it. That's okay, and any bit of tat thrown against the music will work. That's not what the original one was.
It's a little over half. It's an hour. It's an hour. It's an hour.
The original one was
2 hours. It's an hour 15.
Yeah, so it's about half the length. I mean, come on, you can't have 15 minutes. Come on.
That's still a quarter of an hour. Anyway, it's just over half the length, but
and the original one was slightly over 2 hours.
Okay. Anyway, either way, I will say this surprised me because I did enjoy a lot of the segments here. I thought that the segment with the jazz music was really inventive and unique. Not just because I'm from New York, mind you, but just seeing that environment and seeing all these different people and
jazz
how
is more New Orleans than it is New York.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm just saying it took place in New York. That was my point.
So there's a lot of things. Jazz is New Orleans. Let's not take it from the African American people.
Yeah. Cultural appropriation. Thanks.
I'm just saying that they took place in New York. Anyway, it was really enjoyable. And I like how they showed all these different people in these different environments, and how they each were unsatisfied with their life in some way, and how through the music and the varying events, they all ended up at peace. The one guy got a job, the other guy got to go play his music, the girl got back with her parents. It was a nice roundabout little piece. I also really enjoyed the Donald Duck arc piece because I felt the arc, the animals were really well animated, and that Pomp and Circumstance, despite, as mentioned, being a piece that you associate with graduations, really has much more depth to it that you don't always think about, and that was really, really nice. I did really enjoy that as well. Of course, the Sorcerer's Apprentice is always great. Really, not much needs to be said there.
Well, the Sorcerer's Apprentice was great. It shouldn't have been included in this because A, like they say, it's a sequel, and B, it's also the fact, literally, the Donald Duck one's following it, and that could have been the Sorcerer's Apprentice of this. But by having the Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is much better before it, it's sort of like what WWE does at the moment, which we always complain about, just to put it in terms Jim will understand. It's literally using the past star to bury the new talent. Because as a result of this, when you think Fantasia, if you think 2000 Fantasia as well, you'll only think of the Sorcerer Mickey too. You're not really going to think of Noah's Ark Donald. It kind of got buried under Mickey. Mickey even introduced the Donald Duck one.
He did.
This could have been the thing that made Donald huge. And I don't mean, oh, he's going to be the face of Disney or any shit like that. But it could have been a stand-up piece that made people go, oh, Donald has one too. That's cool.
That's true. Although I understand bringing back the Sorcerer's Apprentice because, as was mentioned even several times in the production, Walt's intent was always to be an evolving piece, and that some of the pieces from the original would continue in, making it unified to the original. So I understand why they did bring back Sorcerer's Apprentice, being kind of the quintessential Fantasia piece. And I thought they worked it nicely where they had that in there. But then they were able to segue it, from that to even the him thanking Stokowski portion into him throwing to the next conductor and then bringing in Donald for the next piece. I thought it was funny and cute. Like I said, this doesn't have the formal tone of the original, but it was still very fun, and I thought that the Donald piece was still very well done and very enjoyable. Yeah, Mickey parodied a little bit, but I think it did still stand out on its own because of the uniqueness of the piece. It was still very good. And the piece at the end, it was no Night on Ball Mountain, but it was still very good. The animation is beautiful of the spirit of Earth growth trying to rebirth the Earth, having to fight off the flame lava phoenix that rises out of the volcano and destroys everything again, and then bringing it back again. It really is a beautiful piece, and the music suits it very, very well. It's also interesting to note, and maybe this was a decision to consciously use an existing animation template, that the goddess of the Earth Green goddess of creation there bore an interesting resemblance to the goddess Tefiti from the recent film Moana, who was also the goddess of the earth and growth. So I'm almost wondering if they might have taken some inspiration from this.
No.
If they did, it's weird because that's in a good film.
Yeah.
And this is in something that bastardizes the original. I mean, to put this in terms of Disney, the original is The Lion King, and this is Lion King 3 direct to DVD, or the original Cinderella, and this is Cinderella 3 Return to Time. It's like I said, the best part of this was the Sorcerer's Apprentice. All the others, none of it matched the music well. I mean, it was cool to see the animation. The animation is good, the music was good, but didn't match together, so the whole concept's ruined.
Also, I kind of feel like this one doesn't have, like, it kind of knows that it's shit, I guess, and doesn't have the same kind of self-respect the other one had. Like, the other one felt, from the whole thing, it felt like a big production. It felt like, hey, everybody, you're in a theater. Like, we totally just took you. It's like you're actually a real event that happened and you recorded it. That's what it kind of felt like. It kind of felt like I was a guy in a theater. Someone put a big screen out. There's an orchestra below. And I went to an event, and this is the documentation of that event in the form of something that people can watch at home. And it felt like this huge, awesome thing. And this feels like, hey, here's this shit, and we don't give a shit. Now have it.
Yeah, and it's like the original one with the money they spent on it. The whole budget went on the animation, the music, the feel, everything. This one's half the length, had a budget similar. It seems like most of it was spent on celebrity cameos for the sake of them. And if you're going by the idea of Walt's intention to make it a continuation bullshit, that doesn't work because that also doesn't feel like a continuation if you then just have like guest host every segment. That doesn't work.
I agree.
And then, like I said, so you had the guest host, and that's where the budget went. So the animation doesn't match with the music, and it ruins the concept of what Fantasia is. The first Fantasia was like, oh, let's go see magic. Let's go see dreams come on stage. Let's go see heart. This one felt like, what can we milk in the year 2000 to add 2000 at the end, like everyone does in the year 2000, to quickly make a quick buck, and that's what this was. It's like I said, it's even half the length and half the effort. It's shit. It's kind of bad.
Kind of makes me think of like you got Captain Planet, and then you got the Power, who's just the Power of Heart, but even worse, you just get the monkey. Like you couldn't even get the worst character there. You just got this monkey.
The original is the Flintstones. This is the Flintstones when they tried to bring Pebble and Bam Bam's adults dating each other, which wasn't really successful.
Fair enough.
Or the original was the Brady Bunch, and this was the Brady Bunch movies. Or the original was Alien, and this is Alien Resurrection. I can keep going with these.
or Alien Covenant.
Yeah, the original was Batman 1989. This is Batman and Robin. The original was Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man 3. See, it's just the right itself. The original was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and this is seasons everything after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Or the original was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show, and this is the movie. See, we can keep going with these. They're fun.
Yep.
The original was Super Mario. This is Sunshine.
Ouch.
The original was Captain America. This is Captain America revealed to suddenly be Hydra the whole time. Yes, these analogies aside, this isn't good. Which I make the case whenever you see 2000 added on anything in the year 2000, chances are it's shit. Because a lot of it is like, no. No, like there's too many horrible things to suddenly end in 2000 to try and get you to go, oh my god, it's got the year 2000. It's a new millennium. We should watch this. Oh god, it's so terrible.
Fair enough.
I like the music by itself. If I just turned it off and, you know, played the music on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, like I said, the music...
They had good music selection. It just didn't, like, match.
Yeah, the music's great. And the animation's great. It's just not great together. In that regard, it's sort of like the Green Arrow and Felicity. They were both great until they matched together.
Then you get Oracle.
Yeah, you go, oh look, it's Oracle, which is a bastardization of the original Oracle. Much like this.
Does that mean they're going to bring a Batman into that universe?
No, because she wasn't really Oracle. She had the same storyline, and then they said, oh no, the name Oracle's taken, and gave her something else.
Overwatch or...
Yeah, and then she quickly...
Overwatch? Wow.
Yeah, it was shit in
because
that.
she was
shit
the person who in the ear, you know.
Yep, and then she quickly got over it.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, I'm like, oh, it's terrible.
So as a Spider-Man movie put it, she was the girl in the chair.
No, she was literally not. She was much worse because the whole show revolved around her. But yeah, that aside, yeah, like I said, it just didn't match well, which is annoying because one of the things we talked about in the original, besides various references and stuff we were doing, is how well they match together. Like the animation where it was drawn by that guy who does characters. I think it was the jazz one where the guy's coming down and stuff. Literally, at one point, you see the cat tapping the milk bottle and going inside the milk bottle, and there's no sound. It's just quiet music. And you're like, no, because if you look at Sorcerer's Apprentice, whenever anything moves or touches something, there's music. There's a note. It matches. This is, it's like they didn't try. And that just pisses me off more. Because I genuinely don't think they tried. I think they just came up with the music, added any old random cartoon to it, and thought, well, if we get a celebrity to introduce it, it's going to be okay. And we'll add the year 2000, and that'll make it sell.
Just as an interesting point of reference, I recently saw an episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and he has his new accent sound guy or whatever, and he was like playing fake bongo drums or something, and he had the guy who did the music had to time it with his like hand gestures. That synced up better than this movie synced up. Stuff. Okay, and he's like a random sound guy that got this year who probably went to school and whatever, but he hasn't been doing it for that long. This was a whole freaking film production that couldn't sync up masterpieces with artists.
Yeah, it's like if you ever watched the original Tom and Jerry's, which were great. Like, I know you'd call it, but it's like they're almost silent movies. There's a little bit of talking, but they're basically silent movies. Everything on that, like when they're tiptoeing, every action, and the music, it's perfect. Same thing with the original Fantasia. It's like, why didn't they do this?
I mean, there was a scene with the horses and the stuff, whatever, they brought back from the original one too. And I still didn't like it as much. Like, And that was one of my favorite parts in the original Fantasia.
Yeah, I will say the yo-yo flamingo scene is. I like the flamingo cartoon with the yo-yo, only because similar to the original Fantasia, it actually matches up better than some of the other ones in it. It's got the bright colors and it's got the fun. It's just not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
And admittedly, of all the, even though they didn't need all the celebrities, admittedly, I like James Earl Jones introducing that one. Like, wait, what? I mean, what happens when you give a flock of flamingos a yo-yo? Well, who wrote this? That was funny.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, the celebrities didn't do a terrible job. I just wish they weren't there. Like
they were just out of place. Yeah.
Like I still love the Penn and Teller introduction because I love Penn and Teller. I've rewatched the crap out of that. I've rewatched the crap out of the Penn and Teller Fool Us. It's on Netflix.
Nice.
I just keep rewatching it. It's still fun.
I'll check that
Penn
out.
and Teller are great.
Yeah, so it's yeah. So final thoughts, I guess. Anybody have anything else to say? You guys kind of summarized your thoughts already, but
I give it a. I'm gonna give it an Amazon review. 2 out of 5 stars. Don't recommend.
Fair enough.
I could give it the Amazon one of 1 out of 10 because this isn't what's written on the box, literally, because it's not Fantasia. But this one, I'm just going to give it a thumbs down. If you like Fantasia, it's complete garbage. If you like classical music, it's kind of garbage because you can listen to it elsewhere. There's literally no point to watching this. And if you like the animations and stuff, there's better cartoons out there. And it's half the, like I said, it's half the length of the original. Just watch the original. It's out there. You gain nothing from watching this.
Okay. For me, as an information, like I said, I was surprised by this because I really didn't. I mean, is it as good as the original? No, of course not. It was never going to be, and we knew that going in. It was better than I thought it was going to be, though, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. That said, it does not really live up as a sequel to Fantasia. If this was its own thing, it would have been decent. It wouldn't have been the best thing ever, but it would have been halfway decent. But it doesn't live up to what it needed to be a sequel of Fantasia. The celebrity cameos, while they were fun, they kind of ruined the mood a little of what is normally supposed to be a more formal mood for this sort of thing. And it really didn't help. And it was a little bit short, comparatively speaking, definitely. But overall, I think the animation and the music were still really enjoyable. And I found those pieces really enjoyable and really fun to watch. Even if every note didn't line up, I mean, I didn't really notice that, but I just enjoyed the pieces. I thought they were a lot of fun to watch, and I thought it really went together well. And I like how they even worked in animation too, behind the orchestra of all these different things. The pieces are flowing around. Like they did a lot for the visual aesthetic to make it look really cool and all these different things. So that really made it stand out as a really unique and fun little adventure to go through and to watch. It just didn't match up with what it should have been to be a Fantasia continuation or sequel. It didn't meet that requirement. So, I mean, if I were going to, I mean, obviously, like I said, this was, at least a 9. I mean, the original is that good. I mean, if I were going to rate this on its own merits as its own thing, I would give it like a 7. If I was going to rate this as a sequel to Fantasia, it's probably closer to a 5. If only because, it still looks really good. There's just a lot of problems with it living up to the Fantasia name. It doesn't really deserve the Fantasia name, as enjoyable as it is as its own production. So that's my overall thought. This has been a look at Fantasia 2000. If you're going to check one of these out, check out the original. It's decent. It's a fun little adventure. As long as you keep in mind, it's not going to be this. It was never going to be this.
You can get it for free at a yard sale.
Yeah, if it's on TV or you can rent, like I did. I rented it for free from the library. I wouldn't buy this, but I rented it for free.
Yeah, but it's supposed to live up to the original. It's a sequel.
And that's the problem.
I know. I'm just saying, when everyone, its main problem is the fact it is a sequel thing, obviously. It's because it's like if you buy the wrestling games each year on their own they're good, but you can't look at them that way. They are completely horseshit. It's like
Yeah.
Age of Ultron is completely shit. If it had been the first Avengers film, it could have been okay, but it's really terrible compared to the first
Compared
one.
to the original, yeah, it doesn't live up exactly. Although Infinity War is looking good.
Not really.
Mm.
I don't like the fact, like I said, the complete ending of Spider-Man was completely ruined by the fact he's now wearing the suit anyway. They made a big deal about, I'm not going to wear the suit. Next film, he's in it. They at least have a film or two in between so he can change his mind.
Fair enough. At any rate, thank you two for joining me, as
Of course.
always. This is a fun little review. I like that nice back-to-back Fantasia weekend. Great bonus for the summer at Disney, and thank you all for suggesting the two films.
Yep.
I wouldn't have had not an idea I would have come up with, so that was great. And stay tuned with our continuation of the Summer of Disney this coming Tuesday, where we're going to be taking a look at the Beauty and the Beast Blu-ray, the Emma Watson remake version.
Yep, I'll need to watch that.
I know Mole has it in 3D. I don't know if he's going to watch it in 3D.
I might do. I haven't decided. I might just watch it in 2D.
Indeed.
Because it's just a review of the Blu-ray. So
I saw it both in 2D and in 3D in the theaters.
Oh, cool.
Indeed. Nice. And then we're rounding out our Summer of Disney at the end of this month with both Mickey's House of Villains, and of course, the final countdown will be top 5 alternate Disney villains.
Yep.
So with that, we will see you on Tuesday, folks. Peace.